We are ready. All right, Mike, they're ready.
Did you switch over?
All right, that's it. Canyon Network for the next match. Here we go. Back to you, Ben and Mike.
Right back to Canyon Network.
Old Faithful, that's what we like to play.
Absolutely. So back to a map that everybody knows.
Yep.
Back to a map that we all know.
I think everyone in the game is very familiar with this map, but for a good reason. It's a good map. It's got a lot of different places you can play. It's got the verticality that you like. It's very clear. The visibility is good. And these two teams love this map. They both really enjoy to play on it. We've watched them play on this all through the semifinals. I think they're both pretty good at playing on it. The question is going to be, what does Eon Synergy do with how Imperial likes to play this map? We know how they play it. They spread out, they put the pressure on, they take away your angles. Eon typically will just try and do a better job than that. Do they try again, or do they try something new?
Absolutely. I mean, I really enjoy watching Imperial play on this map. You pick up the little details that they are constantly doing, like just how Aurora scouts around that right side, goes high one time, low one time, he peeks through a little crevice and just watches for a mech. Those little things really add up to giving them that early information, and then they just start responding, they start reacting, they send people from across the map, they even tow their assaults sometimes if need be, if it's a big enough force moving that direction, and then suddenly you've got an entire Imperial force just there sending tons of firepower into you when you expected it to be only a couple mechs.
That being said, Eon Synergy did beat Imperial on this map earlier tonight. They had the out cap. They actually got into a little bit of almost a brawl, right? They were going after the mistlinks. Imperial was running a couple machine gun mistlinks, and they charged in on a hunchback that Eon Synergy kind of misplayed, and these two mistlinks are getting in there, but those mistlinks are really the key to the Imperial strategy on this match, and Eon went all out to get those mistlinks down, and they succeeded, and then were just able to hang on and get the cap win in that match, but a win's a win.
Absolutely. Getting those light mechs off the field quickly, but really, regardless of the light mechs, just whatever you shoot at, it has to be focus fire.
Yeah.
You have to punish something and make sure it gets off the field, because like we were saying before, Imperial's very good at protecting its mechs that are hurt, rotating them out, getting fresher mechs to the front. So every single time one of those Imperial mechs that gets hit hard is able to get out and survive, that's all that heat you just spent on that guy could have potentially been wasted, because we've seen several times where Imperial comes out with a lot of hurt mechs, but they're all still alive. All that shooting you just did was for nothing. You need to kill mechs. You need to get them off the field.
That being said, this is the sort of map that guys like the Red Goes the Faster and his Wolfhound really do well on. All the cover that they have, all the verticality. When he plays that Wolfhound, he is peeking around the corner just an inch, just enough to get those lasers around the corner, get a shot off, and he's got the shot off before that burn's even finished. Sometimes you're watching him, he's already thrown that mech in reverse, back around the corner, hardly takes any damage at all, and he just keeps popping up in various places behind other enemy mechs, getting them to turn around, and then they turn around and he's gone. He's so good at doing that. Canyon Network is really a great map to do that on. So it's gonna, I ultimately think, you know, people say, oh, well, you know, in the current state of the game, right, light mechs are really tough to play. That's certainly true, and maybe they're not as valuable as they once were. In competitive play, especially on a map like this with teams like this, I think the light mechs are really what make or break these sort of games. If we see those mistlinks and we see the Wolfhounds again, watch what they're doing. Typically, whoever has the light mechs up at the end of the game, they're probably in pretty good shape.
Absolutely. I mean, we've seen lights make or break an entire effort. And you put a really good pilot into a light mech, I don't care if he's driving a refrigerator around, which we've seen plenty of times with, you know, ice ferrets.
The ice ferret, absolutely.
Good pilots, they get the job done, and I guess we're going to have to see.
Yeah, let's see
who's going to come away with this one. Tied up 1-1 on the series. We're heading in to Canyon Network, drop 3. I'm sure they'd rather not be piloting a refrigerator, by the way.
That's probably true.
Yeah, I'm sure they all wish they had the tiniest little mech possible. But But Canyon Network, man, the Wolfhound is great, and they do play it great, but their time to shine is when EMP kind of stagnates a bit, and you know, they're allowed to get a lot of that poke damage in. But what we've seen in response, even when EMP's being out-traded, EMP doesn't sit around and just let them do that to them. They get aggressive, and that's where the mislinks shine, when they get aggressive, especially in late game, after a bunch of trading has gone down, those machine guns going in and a bunch of really hurt mechs, it's just absolutely savage.
Well, I tell you what, I think by the time this tournament's over, these two teams could probably play Canyon Network in their sleep, and I'm pretty sure me and you could cast it in our sleep.
Absolutely. We do have a little bit of a change-up. Lizzie, Battlemaster 1G out on Junkyard. He was in the night gear with the 6 ER larges last time, so he has made a change. Maybe he thinks the mech just felt really good to him. Aggressive movement by Colonel O'Neill and Hubert
for a while now.
So Radic and Aurora on that left side, they spotted the movement over Kappa. Looks like they're giving it up to the Hunchbacks and the Wolfhound.
And these two teams have done exactly what we expected them to do. They both spread out pretty significantly, although there seems to be a little more spread on the Imperial side right now. A little more focus over Kappa by Eon Synergy.
Definitely. They do have some mechs way far on this left side. They're a little bit just kind of on their own. Looks like Lizzie trading into 2 different mechs.
I say that, but it looks like we could have a little bit of a firefight coming up here soon.
So this is exactly what we were talking about. You know, we've got the same setup. Those really heavy mislinks, they just completely shred. And I think they're playing right back into EMP, what EMP likes the most. Looks like the Wolfhound and the Hunchback getting really aggressive right up in front there. I don't know if they know how many mechs are there. Here we go.
Aggressive too.
Mislinks is right up in front, getting in on Hubert. They're working on Aurora, though. He's down to 59%. If they can get him focused down, that'd be big. And they do take him down. Looks like Hubert is taken down. I think they're working on Nova now, down to 79%. They are getting good focus in on him, but Colonel O'Neill has to turn his back. Nova definitely has moved away from the rest of the group, and here comes some streaks in on Da Red in that Wolfhound. Selith going in for the kill, down to 42%, 34%. Selith just landing those streaks, but Zelaglock coming up behind him trying to help him out.
Let him go.
Doesn't want to let him go, but he's also moved out, and he overheated. Selith gets taken down. 3 dead for Imperial, only 1 dead
for Eon Synergy.
And Colonel O'Neill actually survived the guys that were behind him. He was able to turn around and prevent the extra amount of damage. And now he's able to freely start trading into Solitude. They're spread enough that they can start taking away angles from the remaining EMP mechs. And if they play it well, they can really start putting the damage downfield.
If I'm Eon Synergy right now, I should be sending those Wolfhounds to Red Goes to Faster out to get some caps. He's at 34%. I don't know if he can really be that effective at this point in the game trading. He should be getting those cap points. Keep the pressure up on Imperial.
The worst thing that they can do right now is allow Imperial to get comfortable in a trade and just start working their way back. Yes, Imperial has to do that much more damage to get the job done, but we've seen them do it in the past, and they just need to be careful with their trades if they want to pull this off.
That being said, Twinkie Overlord's lost half of his Warhawk right now. Took a lot of damage in some of those engagements as well.
A lot of PPCs going back and forth. Chico Zelaglock up on top, Warhawk and Summoner.
And Radic is danger close on Colonel O'Neill here, and he's got a Wolfhound coming in on him. That's going to be trouble.
So we got a strike coming in. I don't believe that made any contact.
Missed Radic.
Looks like Colonel O'Neill's able to get some shots in, but Hardock's taking some shots at him as well. He's all alone at this point. There's a little bit of a strike on Radic. They're playing this very, very tight right now. Bowser able to take down Legolas in that night gear.
Eon's got to be careful. They don't want to let Imperial get back into this game.
And that seems to me like they've got the caps rolling in their favor now. Really, they should be slow rolling this and try to limit the amount of damage they take. Force EMP out of their comfort zone. Here comes Proton and a fresh Dragon. in on Zelaglock. That's a lot of damage. I really think they're just kind of pushing too much here. Lizzie does take down Twinkie Overlord.
That's big.
But Radek, Proton, and Bowser are both in really good shape. Zelaglock putting some damage down on Radek, and it looks like O'Neal up over the top against Proton, but they're splitting. If Zelaglock can land this kill on Radek, that's going to be pretty big. They are double teaming him. Hardock is there as well. Proton is dropping down. O'Neal is not in position to help. Hardock does take down Radek. Proton takes on Zelaglock. And now the Wolfhound and the Hunchback are there. They kill Proton. 2 remaining for Imperial, but everybody else is very hurt. Solitude down to 41% up against that Wolfhound. And he goes down. 1 left. Bowser in that Warhawk. And he just takes a massive airstrike. 57%, 4 caps in favor of Eon. I'm thinking that this is probably going to go in favor of Eon at this point.
Yeah, Bowser doesn't have the speed to outcap him. He doesn't have the firepower to kill all of them.
Very well played by Eon. It really, once again, killing those Mislinks, taking those down. Fantastic focus fire. And even when the Mislinks got past them, some of the mechs that they passed, like Colonel O'Neal, instead of just turning and staring at the Mislinks and getting shot in the back, he protected his mech, and he kept himself alive even to this point.
And Lizzie coming up right behind Bowser, getting a shot in the back. Didn't take him down yet, but this is going to be game over here.
Slow, inevitable death of Bowser, and there he goes. Colonel O'Neal coming in with the backstab, and Eon Synergy takes drop 3, going up 2-1 on the series.
That match was decided right from the beginning, that engagement at Kappa. Lights versus lights, what did I tell you?
Absolutely. They've made the mistake in the past, and they seemingly have taken corrective actions. When those Mislinks come around, they now know to take those guys off the field. You cannot leave them alone. You cannot keep them alive.
Yeah, looking at the damage here, we've got Lizzie with 625 in that Battlemaster, 622 for Zelaglock in the Summoner. Those 2 Mislinks, 90 and 129 damage. That's definitely tough.
That's absolutely big. Now, EMP obviously had the option to just not push like that, but it's worked in the past. Eon's starting to figure it out.
Yeah.
We might see EMP respond differently, but the methods that Eon took to kind of force them back and control those 3 caps or control a lot of the map, EMP has to make a decision to go somewhere.
Yeah.
They didn't necessarily have to go into that team though, but we might see a change up in that if we end up on that map again.
You almost wonder if they kind of baited Imperial into that corner around Kappa, trying to hide some of their mechs. I mean, they had 5 mechs over there when they pushed around the corner. I don't know if Imperial realized that they were that outnumbered coming around there, and then having those Mislinks just charge in the middle, it can work well if you confuse the enemy, you know, get them to turn around and stuff. Eon Synergy is one of the best 3 teams in the world. I don't think that's going to work too often, so that's definitely a tricky strategy to take. It was very aggressive by Imperial. Clearly, they wish it had gone better at that point, because losing those 3 mechs just puts you at such a huge disadvantage for the rest of the game, and they only got 1 kill out of it.
Absolutely. Let's go back to Darren for the map ban. Let's see where we're going for drop 4.